Hello YouTube. So it's been a very long time. I think the last time we spoke was a couple of months ago, and it's been a long couple of months for me personally. How is everybody? I feel like it's really difficult to breathe, because, trigger warning, for anybody watching this video, it's gonna be a lot mentally for people watching. So if you're mentally struggling right now and you are somebody who has dealt with a sexual assault or like something of that nature, then please just go off this video. I think it's been a long time coming that I needed to do this for myself, and it's very important that I spread awareness about it. Like, that's always something that I wanted to do with my channel, in terms of like mental health and stuff. So this is a big part of my issues, so I'll just get straight into it. I was sexually assaulted in 2013. It's kind of come up over the past 5 years now, so obviously being a little while ago now, the incident, I wasn't really expecting it to kind of intrude in my life again, because when it happened, it was just very when it happened, I just didn't think I would think about it again, and it would just kind of go away on its own. The day after, I just wiped the slate clean, and for me, that's what I thought was best, and it didn't come up until 2017. So the incident, basically what happened was, I went to a friend's house, and they had a couple people around. I was one of those people, and it was fine. We all had a couple drinks, had food, and slept round, because that was the intention. That was like what we went round for, to just have like drinks and chill and sleep round and enjoy the evening. And throughout the evening, I was feeling like unsure of the situation, because I trusted going there because my friend was there, and he was a good friend at the time. He's not anymore, but I trusted the situation and being there, so I didn't think anything would happen or anything like that. And I just felt uncomfortable the entire night, because I was continuously being touched, and nobody really paid attention. I did tell one person who lived at this house at the time, and he just told me, just ignore it, it's just him being weird, like he's kind of weird, so just, you know, try to ignore it and enjoy yourself. So we were just like carrying on with the evening, and it just seemed to get worse. Like, there were things that were happening and it shouldn't have happened. So we were watching a film, and like he would place my legs on top of his lap, and I just froze. Like, I didn't do anything, and I thought that I should do something, but I didn't. And then he started to put his hand on my leg and kept trying to put it further and further above my private parts. And at that point, like, I would kick him and tell him to stop, and he just kept trying. And at that point I didn't realise that was kind of the time. I should have just called my mum or called my dad and just been like, can you come and pick me up? And it just didn't occur. Like, it didn't at all. It was kind of like I didn't know what to do with the situation. And so that continued throughout the evening. And then my friend decided it was time that everyone went upstairs and go to sleep. So his roommate and his roommate's partner went up to their room. My friend decided to then leave me and his friend downstairs to sleep. He, like my then friend at the time, didn't offer, you know, to let me sleep upstairs, even if it was like on the floor or something. Just left me downstairs. And at this point I had a fair bit to drink and wasn't really aware of what was going on anymore. I knew it wasn't good. I knew it didn't feel right, and I was very in and out of sleep at this point. So I slept on the floor, his friend slept on the sofa, and that's when he started to touch me and started to caress my chest area, and continued to do so for quite a long time. So like I was in and out of sleep, so I don't even know how long it was. And then I fell asleep, and when I woke up something just didn't feel right. And I didn't feel right. I knew something had happened and I just didn't know what had happened, because like at the time where I'd fallen asleep, you don't know what happens when you fall asleep. And to this day I'm finding it very difficult to come to terms with the fact that something more may have happened to me. The morning after, I went to the bathroom and there was a lot of moisture, I guess you could say. So yeah, to this day I don't know what actually happened to me. So yeah, I cleaned myself up. I didn't speak to this person or the entire rest of the time I was at the house. I left quite quickly after that. And my mum came to pick me up and it was forgotten about. I just put it in the back of my mind, didn't tell anybody. And that was that. A couple of months later, after the incident, the same friend of mine asked me and Ben, because at the time me and Ben were best friends, he asked us if we wanted to go over. The time previous to that, Ben was actually invited, but Ben couldn't make it. He had some things going on, so he couldn't make it. But I didn't tell anybody at that time what had happened to me, so I just said to Ben, can you make sure that this person isn't at the house? I won't go. If he's there, I won't go. So Ben made sure that he told my friend, and my friend was like, yeah, that's fine, he won't be there. Didn't ask questions or anything like that. And as soon as we walked through the door, this guy was there, and my heart just dropped. I stayed very close to Ben. Like, as I said, we were best friends at the time, so he was a bit baffled as to why I was very close with him. And I just stuck to him like glue. I didn't want to go in. I just didn't. I didn't want to be in that situation. But as we were still friends with this other person, I didn't feel like I could just leave. So whilst we were there, the guy continued to try and caress my bum, and I froze because I didn't know what to do again, and it took me back to the night of the incident. So I just grabbed hold of Ben's arm, and he knew something was wrong. I didn't tell him, he just knew something was wrong. So basically he knew, obviously he knew something was wrong, so I gave him the look of, you know, we need to get away from this situation, and he took me aside and just made sure he was there for me, and then we left about an hour later or so, and that was that. After that, my friend, I told him, well, I told Ben first. I told Ben, and Ben lost it, obviously. He's always said he never would have put me in a situation like that had I have said to him, and I really do appreciate that. Obviously, I just didn't feel comfortable talking about it, so he understands that I just didn't want to say anything. And then after that, I think he told our friend, or I did. It's that bit's a little bit blurry, but my friend had the audacity to ring me whilst I was at my nan's house one day and told me that the person who did this to me wanted to apologise. And obviously, as somebody who had dealt with something like that, like a sexual assault, you don't think that someone's going to apologise. Like, you just don't. And I just lost it. I screamed down the phone. I said, I don't want to effing speak to him, blah blah blah, and it was left at that. And then in 2017, that all happened. All that incident happened within a few months. So the incident happened in 2013, at the end of 2013, and then so the apology was in about February time 2014. Then it all kind of went away, and me and Ben ended up becoming boyfriend and girlfriend in 2017, early 2017, and then I watched a video like this one, and somebody who was dealing with their own sexual assault spoke up about it, and it just kind of dawned on me that I was sexually assaulted, and it didn't register. So after all that time, like, I didn't think I was sexually assaulted. I didn't view it as that, and it only took me until then, and speaking to Ben at the time of when I watched it, that I realised that I was assaulted. So soon after that, 2018, I decided to report it to the police, because that was the best thing for me at that time. Obviously it's not like that for everybody. Some people do report their assaults to the police, whereas other people don't, and that's by choice. I just felt like at that time it needed to be done in case he'd done anything to anybody else, and that was scary to do. God, it was horrible. It was actually horrible doing it, but I just thought it needed to get done at that time, and then it was reported, and then nothing was done. It was my word against his, and he basically made it sound like he had some mental problems. So yeah, it was my word against his, and obviously that angered me a lot. And 2019, I managed to get hold of some evidence, because as the person who was like assaulted, it didn't register. So the day after, when I came home, we were messaging each other, and I didn't realise that I was doing what I was doing. It didn't register, and he admitted that he'd done something. Like, he never told me what it was that he actually did. He just said, I'm sorry for what I did to you, and that was it. And me being me, I said, it's fine, and I took that to the police in 2019, and because my response was, it's fine, that's not enough. That's my fault, because I responded with, it's fine. So the police didn't take it any further. They didn't tell me that they'd closed the case, and that was that. So there were two, the policemen that I dealt with, all three of them. So the first one was nice. The second two were really nice as well, but one of the officers that I spoke to basically said to me, just get on with your life. Like, don't think about this. Get on with your life. And to say that to somebody who's dealt with all of that and still not come to terms with everything that happened, it sucks. It really sucks, because how do you expect somebody to get on with their life when you're not going to do anything with the evidence that I gave you? Because at that point, when I said it's fine, I was in a complete state of shock. You know, so now we're 2 years later, after speaking the last time I spoke to the police, and I'm nowhere. I'm still nowhere. I'm still constantly feeling afraid, constantly looking over my shoulder, wondering if something will happen, and constantly wondering whether I'll get abuse because I am speaking out about it now. And this is the thing, like, these are the things that the police don't get to see. It's the after effects of what happens to someone, and then you telling them, like, just go and get on with your life. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? The incident happened like in 2013. We're in 2021 and I'm still not over it, because I don't know what actually fully happened to me, and nothing's going to be done. And unfortunately, I'm not the first person who something like this has happened to, and it's not been taken any further. This happens like to thousands of people, you know, lots of women of course, but lots of men as well. And you know, how long is it going to take for people to do something about sexual assault and take it seriously? Like, how long is it going to take? Because I've been trying to come to terms with this and it's still happening. Like, so many people are getting assaulted and nothing's being done. Like, all I want to do is raise more awareness about things, because it's really important to talk about it and like to make sure that people are aware, to stay safe. And if you don't feel comfortable in a situation and you want to get out, you trust your instinct and you get the hell out of that situation. You call your parents, you call your friends. Like, you don't go along with something because you think, oh, it's fine, it'll be fine. Like my friends there, the only person you can rely on is yourself. And it's taken me this long. I'm 27 years old, I'm nearly 20, I'll be 28 this year. It's taken me this long to finally realise, actually, the only person I can really rely on is myself. Like, yes, I've got my loved ones and my family and my boyfriend, but realistically, they have to rely on themselves and I need to rely on myself. So I don't know. I just don't know. It's really hard to talk about, but the whole point of this is not to trigger anybody, but if someone's in a similar situation to me and they've not been able to speak to anybody about it, then like, I would honestly recommend to just like speak up about it. It's like, it is so difficult, and I understand that I'm making myself more vulnerable by talking up about it, but if I can help one person figure out what they need to do, or what they feel that they need to do is speak up about it, then like, that's all I'm bothered about. I wouldn't want this to happen to somebody else when like, it happens all the time. So just because the police couldn't help me doesn't mean that they can't help someone else in a similar situation. People just need to be more aware of keeping safe, and there's a lot of us who have unfortunately not been able to keep ourselves safe in a time where things we thought were okay weren't. And but I just hope that if you're somebody who is watching this video, then you're alright and I hope that you can get some form of support for what's happened to you, if something has happened to you. And just, I'll leave some links in the description box for anybody who wants to talk to someone and is ready to talk to someone, and I'll speak to you in another video. I'm not sure when I'll be doing another one. But if there's any other videos you'd like me to do, then that's fine. But I'm happy for suggestions. I'm always happy for suggestions. And I will speak to you in the next one. Bye guys.